The big ship came down slowly through Earth's clouds. It was silver and smooth, like nothing humans had ever built. People all over the world watched on their screens as it hovered over the United Nations building in New York. Dr. Han Jun stood among world leaders and scientists, his hands shaking slightly. After years studying space signals at Korea's top research center, he was about to meet actual aliens. Next to him stood Colonel Jack Reeves, an American military officer with a calm face and watchful eyes. "Nervous, Doc?" asked Colonel Reeves, his voice steady. Han nodded. Who wouldn't be? First contact with an alien race. The ship's bottom opened, and a ramp extended down. Everyone held their breath. The aliens that walked out were tall and thin with blue-gray skin. They had 4 arms and large, sideways-facing eyes that reminded Han of deer or rabbits. The lead alien wore a shimmering robe and carried a staff. "I am Ambassador Krill of the Galactic Confederation," it said through a translation device. "We come in peace to welcome Earth to the wider universe." Weeks passed. The aliens, who called themselves the Valen, set up meetings with Earth's leaders. Dr. Han was picked to join the science team because of his work with space communications. Colonel Reeves was chosen to represent American military interests. In one important meeting, Han noticed the aliens watching him eat a sandwich. "You consume animal flesh," Ambassador Krill said, sounding surprised. "Yes," Han replied. "Many humans eat meat as part of our diet." The aliens looked at each other with their large eyes. One of them, a scientist named Lore, moved closer to Han. "May I scan your teeth?" Lore asked. Han agreed, though he found it strange. The alien held up a small device that glowed as it passed over Han's mouth. "Fascinating," Lore said. "You have cutting teeth in front and grinding teeth in back, a mixed mouth design." Later, Han overheard the aliens talking among themselves. "They have forward-facing eyes," one said. "Binocular vision." "Yes, depth perception for hunting," another replied. "Classic predator trait." Han felt a chill. Were they afraid of humans? He decided to talk to Colonel Reeves about it. He found the American officer in the building's gym, running on a treadmill at high speed. Even after an hour, Reeves wasn't breathing hard. He stopped when he saw Han. "The aliens are studying us," Han said. "They seem very interested in our teeth and eyes." Reeves nodded. "I noticed. They keep safe distances. Their eyes are on the sides of their heads, prey animals where I come from. You think they're afraid of us. Wouldn't you be? They evolved from something like space deer. We evolved from hunters." That evening, Ambassador Krill invited Han and Reeves to dinner on the alien ship. The food was all plants and synthetic proteins. The aliens watched closely as the humans ate. "Your Earth is unusual," Krill said. "Most intelligent species in our confederation evolved from plant eaters or omnivores with limited hunting behaviors. Predator species rarely develop advanced technology." "Why is that?" Han asked. "Predators tend to be aggressive and territorial," Krill explained. "They often destroy themselves before reaching space travel." Colonel Reeves smiled slightly. "Yet here we are." "Yes," said Krill, those large eyes blinking. "Here you are, a most unusual case." As they were leaving, Han saw Colonel Reeves stop and pick something up from the floor, a small device. They dropped their scanner. Reeves whispered, "They've been monitoring our heart rates and brain activity all night." "They're afraid of us," Han realized. "No," Reeves said, placing the device where the aliens would find it. "They're studying us, like scientists studying dangerous animals." 3 months after the aliens arrived, Ambassador Krill made an announcement. Earth was invited to send representatives to the Galactic Confederation's Central Council. "This is a great honor," Krill said. "Your world has much to offer the galaxy." But as Han looked at the aliens' nervous movements and watchful eyes, he wondered what the Confederation really thought about Earth joining their peaceful community of former prey species. The Earth ship was much smaller than the alien vessels around it. Dr. Han-Jun looked through the window at the stars and the huge round space station ahead. 3 months had passed since the invitation, and now they were almost at the Galactic Confederation's central hub. "Quite a view," said Colonel Reeves, standing beside him. The American officer had been quiet for most of the journey, watching the alien crew members with careful eyes. "I never thought I'd travel to another star system," Han said. "My grandfather was a rice farmer. Now I'm here." Captain Kim Soo joined them at the window. As Korea's military attaché, she had been added to the team for security. She was small but moved with purpose and strength. "The aliens are watching us again," she said softly. 2 of them outside the door. "They take notes when they think we don't see." Reeves nodded without turning around. "They've been studying our sleep patterns too. They seem surprised that we sleep so deeply." "Why is that strange?" Han asked. "Prey animals often sleep lightly," Reeves explained, "always ready to run. Predators can sleep deeply because they're not afraid of being eaten." The ship docked at the space station. When the doors opened, Ambassador Krill was waiting with other aliens of different shapes and colors. Some had fur, others scales, but all had those same side-facing eyes. "Welcome to Harmony Station," Krill said. "Representatives from 57 worlds are eager to meet you." As they walked through wide hallways, Han noticed how the aliens moved away slightly when Colonel Reeves came near. The American pretended not to notice, but Han saw his eyes track every movement, every exit, every potential threat. It was automatic, like breathing. Their rooms were large and comfortable, but Han noticed there were cameras in every corner. "They're still afraid of us," Han said during a private meeting with Reeves and Kim. "Of course they are," Kim replied. "Look at how their society is built. Everything is open, visible from many angles. No corners to hide in. It's built by prey, for prey." Colonel Reeves sat cleaning his teeth with a small tool. The motion looked strangely predatory in this context. "They don't understand us," he said. "Yesterday, I asked one of them why they don't have sports. He said competitive physical activities promote aggression." Han thought about Earth's Olympics, soccer matches, and boxing rings. "We do enjoy competition. It's more than that," Reeves said. "Their children don't play chase games. Their stories don't have heroes who fight. They solve problems by running away or hiding." That night, the humans attended a welcome dinner. The food was all plants and synthetic proteins again. Han noticed how the aliens ate, constantly looking up, checking their surroundings between bites. An alien scientist named Trill sat next to Han. She had green scales and seemed more comfortable with humans than the others. "I have a question," she said. "In your Earth media, why do you glorify your predatory past? Your action movies show hunting and fighting as positive." Han thought carefully before answering. "Humans value courage and protecting others. Sometimes that means fighting." Across the table, Colonel Reeves was talking with a high-ranking alien official. Han couldn't hear their words, but he saw how the alien leaned away slightly whenever Reeves moved his hands. After dinner, they were shown to a large meeting hall where representatives from all Confederation worlds had gathered. The hall fell silent as the humans entered. Thousands of side-facing eyes turned to watch them. "Tomorrow," Ambassador Krill announced, "our xenobiology team will present their findings on human physiology and behavior. Then the Council will vote on Earth's status within the Confederation." As they left the hall, Captain Kim whispered to Han, "Did you notice? No other species has a military representative here, only scientists and politicians." "Maybe they don't need militaries," Han suggested. Colonel Reeves overheard them. "Oh, they have conflicts," he said quietly. "But I'm starting to think they fight them very differently than we do." That night, Han couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about those thousands of alien eyes, watching the humans with a mixture of curiosity and fear. Tomorrow, Earth would be judged by a galaxy of prey animals who had never met true predators before. The great meeting hall was packed with aliens from all corners of the galaxy. Dr. Han Jun sat between Colonel Reeves and Captain Kim, feeling thousands of eyes on them. The human delegation looked small against the sea of alien faces. A tall Valen scientist named Moore stepped onto the central platform. Large screens appeared in the air around him. Esteemed council members, Moore began, today I present our findings on the species known as humans. The first image showed human teeth, cutting incisors in front, sharp canines, and flat molars in back. As you can see, human dentition is that of an omnivore with significant predatory adaptations, Moore said. Unlike most Confederation species, they evolved from pack-hunting mammals. The next images showed human eyes, forward-facing eyes providing depth perception for hunting, Moore continued. Their retinas are specialized for detecting movement. Their color vision evolved to spot prey against foliage. Colonel Reeves leaned over to Han. They make us sound like monsters, he whispered. The presentation continued, showing human muscle structure, brain development, and hunting tools from Earth's history. Most concerning, Moore said, is their species' history of organized violence. Humans developed weapons specifically to kill each other, not just for hunting or defense. Murmurs spread through the crowd. Han noticed many aliens moving restlessly in their seats. In conclusion, Moore said, humans represent an anomaly in our Confederation, an intelligent predator species that has achieved space travel without self-destructing through aggression. An older alien with gray furs stood up. I move that Earth be placed under quarantine until we can determine if humans pose a threat. More aliens stood, voicing agreement. The room grew loud with worried voices. Ambassador Krill raised all four hands for silence. We will hear from the human representatives before voting. Dr. Han found himself being guided to the central platform. He had not prepared a speech, but he knew he had to speak for Earth. He looked at the nervous aliens and took a deep breath. Yes, humans evolved as predators, Han began simply. Our ancestors hunted in groups and made tools to catch food. But that same ability to work together and create tools also let us build cities, cure diseases, and travel to space. He paused, seeing the aliens watching closely. Our predatory instincts have been channeled into creativity, protection, and exploration. We compete in sports instead of wars. We hunt for knowledge instead of prey. A blue-skinned alien interrupted. But your planet's history is full of conflicts. You still maintain military forces. Han nodded. We are not perfect. But each generation of humans has been less violent than the one before. We learn and grow. Captain Kim stood up from her seat. In Korea, my home country, we have a saying. The tiger can be dangerous, but it also protects the mountain. Strength can defend as well as harm. The council talked among themselves. Han returned to his seat, heart pounding. Colonel Reeves gave him a slight nod. Well said, Doc. A tall alien with tentacle arms stood. I propose a compromise. Earth will be granted provisional membership with cultural exchange programs, but limited technology sharing until we better understand humans. Ambassador Krill called for a vote. Slowly, most aliens raised their hands or tentacles in agreement. The motion passes, Krill announced. Earth is welcomed as a provisional member of the Galactic Confederation. As they left the hall, Han felt both relief and concern. They had avoided quarantine, but the aliens still feared humans. What happens now? He asked Colonel Reeves. Now they watch us, Reeves said. They'll test us to see if we're the monsters they think we are, or something else entirely. Captain Kim pointed to a group of muscular aliens with thick armor plating watching them from across the hall. Unlike the others, these aliens had forward-facing eyes. Who are they? Han asked. The Brack, Reeves answered. According to the files we received, they're the only other semi-predatory species in the Confederation, and they don't look happy to see us. Han realized their challenges were just beginning. The Confederation had accepted humans, but acceptance was not the same as trust. 3 days had passed since Earth joined the Confederation. Dr. Han was in the station's library, studying alien texts, when Captain Kim rushed in. "The Brack have issued a challenge," she said, her face serious. "They demand a demonstration of human combat skills before accepting us in the Confederation." Han followed her to a meeting room where Colonel Reeves was already talking with Ambassador Krill. "This is highly unusual," Krill was saying, all four hands moving in distress. "The Brack have never challenged a new species before. What exactly do they want?" Han asked. Reeves looked up. "They want one of us to fight their champion in something called a skill contest. Not to the death, but to show our abilities." Captain Kim straightened her uniform. "I will represent Earth." Han was surprised. "Captain, are you sure? The Brack are much larger than humans." "Size isn't everything," she said calmly. "Besides, I'm a 5th-degree black belt in Taekwondo." Ambassador Krill seemed worried. "The Brack are the Confederation's security force. They evolved from pack hunters on a harsh world. No other species has ever beaten them in physical contests." Reeves studied Captain Kim. "What's your strategy?" "I won't try to match their strength," she replied. "I'll use speed and technique, human adaptability." The next day, representatives from many worlds gathered in a large circular room. The Brack champion entered first, over 7 feet tall with thick armor plates on its back and powerful legs. Its eyes were forward-facing, predatory. Captain Kim entered wearing a simple black uniform. She looked tiny compared to her opponent. The Brack leader explained the rules. "The contest ends when one fighter is pinned or surrenders. No weapons, no serious injuries." Colonel Reeves stood near Han. "Watch how she handles this," he said quietly. "The Brack expect her to attack directly or run away. Those are prey responses, fight or flight." The contest began. The Brack charged forward, expecting to overwhelm the small human. But Captain Kim moved sideways, letting the alien's momentum carry it past her. She studied its movements, circling carefully. Again and again, the Brack attacked. Each time, Kim dodged or redirected its force. She never tried to match strength with strength. "What is she doing?" an alien spectator asked. "Why doesn't she attack or flee?" "She's learning," Reeves explained. "Humans study their opponents before committing." The Brack was getting frustrated. Its movements became less controlled. After 10 minutes, it charged again, faster but sloppier. This time, Captain Kim stepped in close. She used the alien's own momentum, adding a precise strike to a pressure point behind its armored knee. The Brack stumbled, off balance. With a series of quick movements, Kim twisted the alien's arm and used leverage to bring it down to the floor. The room fell silent. The human had pinned the much larger alien using technique rather than strength. After a moment, the Brack tapped the floor with its free hand, signaling surrender. Kim immediately released it and stepped back, then bowed respectfully. The Brack rose slowly. Instead of being angry, it made a gesture with its clawed hand, touching its forehead and chest. "The Brack champion acknowledges your skill," the Brack leader announced. "We withdraw our objection to human membership." Later, at a reception, the Brack leader approached the human delegation. "Your fighter used patience and strategy," it said in a deep voice. "Not the blind aggression we expected from predators." "Humans have learned that victory requires more than strength," Captain Kim replied. Han noticed Colonel Reeves standing quietly in the corner, making notes on a small device. While everyone watched Captain Kim's victory, Reeves had been studying Brack fighting techniques. Ambassador Krill seemed relieved. "This should improve your standing with the Council. The Brack rarely respect new species so quickly." As they left the reception, Han asked Reeves, "Do you think they understand us better now?" "They understand Captain Kim," Reeves said, "but they haven't seen how different humans can be from each other. They haven't seen how Americans fight." "Is it very different?" Han asked. Reeves smiled slightly. "Let's hope they never need to find out." 1 month after Captain Kim's victory over the Brack champion, alarms blared throughout Harmony Station. Dr. Han rushed to the emergency meeting room, where Ambassador Krill was addressing the council. A group calling themselves the Pure Harmony Movement has attacked the human colony on Mars, Krill explained, all four hands moving frantically. They believe predator species threaten our peaceful confederation. Colonel Reeves entered the room, his face hard and focused. How many hostages? 42 scientists and workers, Krill replied. The attackers demand that all humans leave Confederation space immediately. Images appeared on the large screens, a small research base on Mars surrounded by alien ships. Inside, humans were being held at gunpoint. We must negotiate, suggested a fuzzy alien representative. There's no time, Reeves said. They've planted explosives around the base. They'll kill everyone in 6 hours if we don't agree to their terms. Han looked at the American officer. What can we do? Mars is too far away. Not for us, Reeves replied. He touched a communication device on his wrist. U.S. Nighthawk. This is Colonel Reeves. Execute Operation Thunderbolt. Han was confused. What is Nighthawk? An American stealth ship, Reeves explained. We brought it into Confederation space as a precaution. It's been hiding near Mars for 2 weeks. The alien council members looked shocked. You brought a military vessel into our territory without permission, one asked. And I'm glad we did, Reeves said. Captain Kim, I need you to keep diplomatic channels open. Dr. Han, help explain our actions to the council. I'm taking a team to Mars. Before anyone could object, Reeves left the room. On the screens, the situation at the Mars base continued. For the next 3 hours, Han and Kim worked to calm the council while Reeves prepared his rescue mission. Many aliens were upset that humans had secretly brought weapons into Confederation space. You must understand, Han told them. Humans protect their people. We don't leave them in danger. Then the screens showing the Mars base went black. What happened? Asked Ambassador Krill. No one knew. For 50 tense minutes, there was no news from Mars. Then Colonel Reeves' voice came through the communication system. This is Nighthawk. Hostages secure. All targets neutralized. No casualties among the hostages. The screens came back on. They showed confused alien attackers being led away by human soldiers dressed in black. The soldiers moved like shadows, their faces covered by dark masks. Later, when Reeves returned to the station, he explained what happened. We approached in stealth mode and cut their communications, he said. Then we used sound devices to confuse them, frequencies that hurt their hearing but don't affect humans. You attacked at night, Captain Kim noted, looking at the mission data. Yes, Reeves nodded. Most Confederation species see poorly in darkness. Humans, especially trained soldiers, can operate effectively using night vision technology. Han was reading reports from the captured aliens. They never saw your team coming. They say humans appeared and disappeared like ghosts. The council called an emergency session to discuss the incident. Many were disturbed by how easily the human soldiers had defeated the attackers. Your methods are concerning, one council member said to Reeves. You used fear as a weapon. We used our natural advantages, Reeves replied calmly. Humans evolved as night hunters. We can move silently, strike from darkness, and use psychological tactics. We didn't kill when we didn't need to. As they left the council chamber, Han spoke quietly to Reeves. The aliens are more afraid of us now, not less. Good, Reeves said. Fear can prevent future attacks. The council is requesting all data on the rescue operation, Captain Kim reported. Reeves smiled slightly. They won't understand what they're seeing. Those weren't just any soldiers. They were American Special Forces, the best predators humans have ever produced. Han realized that the Confederation was learning a hard lesson. Humans were predators, yes, but some humans had turned predatory skills into an art form. 1 week after the Mars rescue, Dr. Han was invited to a special meeting. The Confederation's top military analysts were reviewing footage of the human operation. The room was filled with screens showing the rescue from different angles. Han noticed that Captain Kim was already there, but Colonel Reeves was not. "Where is the colonel?" Han asked. "They didn't invite him," Kim whispered. "They're afraid he'll hide information." A tall black military leader named Gort stepped forward. Unlike other aliens, he seemed more curious than frightened. "Dr. Han, we have questions about human combat methods," Gort said. "They are unlike anything in our records." On the main screen, the video showed human soldiers moving through darkness, using hand signals instead of speaking. "Why do they not communicate verbally?" an analyst asked. "Humans evolved as ambush predators," Han explained. "We can convey complex ideas without making noise." The video continued, showing a soldier placing small devices around the base before the main team entered. "What are these objects?" Gort asked. "Sound generators," Captain Kim answered. "They produce frequencies that disrupt your species' balance and hearing." The aliens looked troubled. "You study our biological weaknesses." "It's standard procedure," Kim said. "Humans always analyze potential threats and advantages." The next clip showed 3 soldiers taking down 5 larger aliens in seconds, using coordinated movements. "Their attacks target joint structures and sense organs," noted a medical analyst, "with minimal force applied precisely." Gort pointed to another screen showing a soldier waiting motionless for almost 10 minutes before moving. "This level of patience is unexpected in a predator species," he said. Han nodded. "Humans can wait hours for the right moment to act. Our ancestors would track prey for days." As the analysis continued, Han noticed something interesting. The aliens weren't just studying human tactics, they were comparing different soldiers. "These 4 humans move differently from these 3, Gort said, highlighting 2 groups. "Their methods are not the same." "That's because they're from different countries," Han explained. The team included Americans, Koreans, British, and others. "We have different military traditions." This seemed to surprise the aliens. "You mean humans fight differently depending on their region?" "Yes," Captain Kim confirmed. "For example, Korean tactics often focus on speed and precision. Russian methods emphasize power and endurance. And Americans." She paused, looking at footage of the American soldiers. Americans combine everything with advanced technology and creative problem-solving. An alien analyst replayed a scene where soldiers used the base's own cooling system to create a smoke screen. "This was not in their planning," the analyst said. "They adapted to a problem in seconds. Americans are particularly good at improvising," Han said. "They train to think independently, not just follow orders." Gort switched to a final video showing Colonel Reeves directing the operation from the ship. He was calm, giving minimal commands while monitoring multiple screens. "Your colonel fights like he has done this many times," Gort observed. "He has," Kim said simply. "Americans have been involved in more armed conflicts in the last century than most other human nations." The meeting ended with the aliens still reviewing the footage. As Han and Kim left, they overheard Gort speaking to the other analysts. "The Confederation must understand," he was saying. "Humans are not one simple threat. They are many different kinds of predators, with different strengths and methods." In the hallway, they met Colonel Reeves waiting for them. "How did it go?" he asked. "They're starting to realize how complex humans are," Han replied, "and how dangerous Americans can be." Reeves nodded. "Good. The more they understand us, the less likely they'll underestimate us if there's real trouble." "Are you expecting trouble?" Kim asked. "Always," Reeves said. "That's the American way. Hope for peace. Prepare for war." Han realized the Confederation was learning an important lesson. Humans were predators with many faces and methods. And among them, Americans were a breed apart. Predators who had turned warfare into a science. 3 months after the Mars incident, alarms rang through Harmony Station again. This time, the threat was not from within the Confederation, but from outside it. Dr. Han hurried to the emergency council meeting. The room was filled with worried aliens. On the main screen, strange ships with sharp, spike-like designs were attacking the Confederation border world. They are called the Krell, Ambassador Krill explained. A violent species from beyond our space. They have attacked 3 worlds already. Captain Kim entered with Colonel Reeves. They had just received the same news. The Krell use direct force and overwhelming numbers, a BRAC commander reported. Our defense forces are retreating on all fronts. The council leader, an old alien with silver fur, looked troubled. Our species are not suited for this type of conflict. We have always relied on negotiation and defense, not attack. All eyes turned to the humans. Ambassador Krill spoke carefully. The Council requests Earth's assistance in this matter. Your predatory skills may be useful against the Krell. Reeves studied the battle data on the screens. We'll need more information about their technology, numbers, and tactics, and authority to bring human ships and soldiers into Confederation space, Captain Kim added. After a short private discussion, Dr. Han addressed the Council. Earth will help, but we must work as equals. Our military must have freedom to operate as needed. The Council voted quickly. The threat of the Krell outweighed their fear of humans. 2 weeks later, human ships arrived at the border worlds. Colonel Reeves led the operation from the command ship Liberty. Captain Kim commanded a joint Korean-Japanese force. Military units from other Earth nations joined them. The aliens watched in surprise as humans set up their defense. Instead of placing all ships in a line, they hid some behind moons and in asteroid fields. They placed sensors and mines in wide patterns. Some ships were left empty as decoys. Why do they spread out their forces? A Valen commander asked Dr. Han, who was acting as liaison. It weakens their defense line. Humans don't think in lines, Han explained. We think in layers and traps. The Krell will face surprises at every step. When the Krell attacked again, they met the human force. At first, they pushed forward easily, breaking through the front line of ships. They're retreating, a Valen officer said, watching human ships fall back. No, Han corrected. They're not retreating. They're leading the Krell into a trap. As the Krell forces chased the human ships, they were suddenly caught between hidden vessels that emerged from all sides. The human ships didn't just fire weapons. They disrupted Krell communications, used electronic warfare to confuse their targeting systems, and cut off their escape routes. The American forces were particularly effective. They used smaller, faster ships to distract the larger Krell vessels, while special operation teams boarded and captured key enemy ships. This is not normal combat, Ambassador Krill said, watching the battle. The Americans change their plans constantly. They don't fight according to fixed rules. That's their strength, Han replied. Americans believe in adaptability above all. They study their enemy and exploit every weakness. After 3 days of fighting, the Krell retreated. The Confederation worlds were safe for now. In the victory celebration court, the BRAC commander approached Colonel Reeves. Your tactics were educational, he said. You did not fight as we expected. How did you expect us to fight? Reeves asked. Directly, with force against force, Court replied. But you used deception, misdirection, and attacked where the enemy was weak, not strong. Reeves smiled slightly. Americans don't believe in fair fights. We believe in winning. Later, Dr. Han found Captain Kim watching recordings of the battle. The Confederation is learning quickly, she said. They're already adopting some of our tactics. But they still don't fully understand humans, Han replied. Especially Americans. Let's hope the Krell don't come back before they learn, Kim said. This was just the beginning. The victory against the Krell was short-lived. 2 weeks later, their ships returned, 3 times as many as before. This time, they bypassed the border worlds and headed straight for the heart of the Confederation. They're attacking Harmony Station, Ambassador Krill announced, voice trembling. All Confederation leaders and representatives are in danger. Emergency alarms blared. Aliens ran through the station's corridors in panic. Dr. Han worked with station staff to coordinate evacuations, while Captain Kim organized security teams. Colonel Reeves was on a video screen, speaking from his ship. "The Liberty is 6 hours away," he reported. "But I've dispatched 2 American fast response teams. They'll reach you in 90 minutes. "The Krell will be here in 60 minutes, Krill said. "We cannot hold that long." Reeves' face hardened. "You won't have to. My teams have a plan." The next hour was chaos. The station's defenses were not designed for a major attack. When the Krell ships arrived, they quickly disabled the outer defensive ring and began docking procedures. Just as the first Krell soldiers cut through an airlock door, something unexpected happened. Small, unmarked ships appeared from behind nearby asteroids. They didn't attack the Krell vessels directly. Instead, they attached to their hulls like parasites. "What are they doing?" Krill asked, watching the screens with Han. "Those are American infiltration teams," Han explained. "While the Krell focus on attacking the station, Americans are boarding their ships." Inside the station, the first wave of Krell soldiers pushed forward. They were tall, heavily armored creatures with 4 arms like the Valen, but with sharp claws and forward-facing eyes. They moved in tight formations, overwhelming the station's security. Captain Kim led a mixed team of humans and Brak defenders, fighting retreat actions to slow the Krell advance. They couldn't stop the invasion, but they could buy time. "We need to protect the council chamber," Kim ordered. "That's where all the Confederation leaders are." Meanwhile, on the Krell, 6 months after the battle for Harmony Station, Dr. Han stood before the full Galactic Council. The Grand Hall was packed with representatives from all Confederation worlds. Even species that rarely left their home planets had come to this historic meeting. "Today marks a new chapter in our shared history," Han began. "Human and Confederation scientists have worked together to create protocols for our continued cooperation and mutual defense." The mood in the room was different than before. Where once there had been fear and suspicion, now there was cautious respect. The Krell threat had changed everything. Captain Kim stood nearby with Colonel Reeves and representatives from Earth's nations. They wore formal uniforms decorated with new symbols of both Earth and the Confederation. "Humans may have evolved as predators," Han continued, "but we have channeled those instincts into protection and creation. We built cities instead of hunting grounds. We explore space out of curiosity, not hunger." The council leader, the old alien with silver fur, stepped forward. "The Confederation has existed for 12,000 years," he said. "In all that time, we believed that predator species could never achieve peaceful cooperation. Humans have proven us wrong." Screens around the hall showed images from Earth, children playing games, scientists working together, people from different nations cooperating. But they also showed military training, sports competitions, and exploration missions. "We now understand that predatory instincts, when guided by intelligence and compassion, can be powerful forces for good," the council leader continued. "The recent crisis has taught us that diversity of thought and approach makes us all stronger." After the ceremony, Han joined a special meeting with Confederation researchers who had been studying human cultures. They had set up screens showing different human activities. "We are particularly interested in American society," said Lore, the alien scientist Han had met months ago. "They seem to embody both cooperation and competition in unique ways." "Americans have a complex history," Han explained. "Their nation formed from many different peoples who came together while maintaining their individual strengths." The screens showed American schools, businesses, and military training. The aliens watched children debating in classrooms, companies competing in markets, and soldiers practicing for missions. "They encourage disagreement within limits," Captain Kim added. "Americans believe that good ideas come from challenge and testing, not just agreement." Colonel Reeves, who had been quiet, spoke up. "Americans expect change. We plan for it. While many cultures seek stability above all, we built a system that adapts constantly. The aliens found this hard to understand. For most Confederation species, stability and consensus were the highest values. Is this why American military forces performed so effectively against the Krell? Gort asked. Because they expect disorder. Partly. Reeves nodded. Americans train to make decisions without perfect information. We value individual initiative alongside teamwork. As the meeting ended, Ambassador Krill approached Han privately. My people have studied human history extensively now. We've noticed something interesting. What's that? Han asked. Most human nations went through periods of conquest and aggression, but then moderated over time, Krill said. This gives us hope for lasting peace between our peoples. Later, on the observation deck, Han, Kim, and Reeves looked out at the stars. Earth was visible as a small blue dot in the distance. The Confederation is sending representatives to study on Earth, Han said. They're particularly interested in American universities, businesses, and yes, military academies. They finally see that predator instincts can create as well as destroy, Kim observed. Reeves smiled slightly. They're learning what humans discovered long ago, that competition drives innovation, that challenges make us stronger, and that the best protectors understand the minds of predators because they are predators themselves. Han watched alien ships and human vessels moving together around the station. The galaxy was a dangerous place, but perhaps the combination of human drive and Confederation wisdom would make it safer for all. They now understand, he said, that having humans, especially Americans, as allies is better than having them as enemies.